Amazing team win tonight. What did it take to get this?
I think defense. We found out the last 6 games we had the number 1 offense in the league, but we were 2-4 because we had the worst defense in the league. So we knew that we had to play defense to win this game.
Now get a little personal here. San Antonio has really welcomed you as one of their own. What do you have to say about this amazing fan base?
I mean, I appreciate it, man. Obviously, growing up and seeing this team and what they've done, you would love to be a part of that. So I appreciate the love, and we're going to continue to build.
We appreciate you. DAaron Fox, everybody.
What a night for DAaron Fox. A Spurs high 32 points to go with 11 assists, 9 rebounds, misses out on his second career triple-double by 1 rebound. Spurs get the win 126-116. We continue. Spurs Live, Dan Weiss, TJ Ford back at our Spurs Live desk. And, well, this was a DAaron Fox night, TJ. I mean, kind of took over in the second quarter, and in the second half kind of put a stamp on this game and basically put the team on its back, said we weren't going to relinquish this one here.
Oh, he came out from the beginning. He came out from the start. We talked about the first half, him having 17 points, being able to get to his mid-range and then leaving the guy on the island and getting to the basket. And tonight, he took the approach of being able to say, this is my team. This is why I was brought here. And he led as the leader he is. And for him to be able to come out here and have 32 points and emphasize that coach talked about the defense, and they was able to execute that tonight.
He was 12 of 25 from the field, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds. As mentioned, his highest scoring game as the Spurs. Previous one had come on the road in Charlotte, but it was an impressive night for DAaron Fox as the Spurs get a victory here against their I-35 rivals and did it on the defensive end. And for more on that, we send it to the 2 gentlemen who called tonight's game, Jacob Toby and Sean Elliott, guys.
Dan, thank you very much. The Spurs force 18 turnovers and scored 27 points off those Dallas turnovers. You heard DAaron talk about it there before we started going here on Spurs Live postgame. Offense has been great. Defense has been the complete opposite, but they fixed that problem tonight.
Yeah, I like the timeout that Mitch Johnson called there. I want to say it was the beginning of the fourth, maybe late in the third, where Dinwiddie went left 2 times and scored the basketball. And then our guys got the message. They started sending him toward the help defense. Julian Champagny with a couple nice steals. But overall, our guys scrambled. They paid more attention to detail on that end of the floor, along with great hustle plays. The other night, Klay Thompson had 26. Dinwiddie had 28. Tonight combined, he had 26. So 28 points less out of those 2 guys because our guys paid attention to detail and followed the game plan.
This game tonight, DAaron Fox, 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. That's what the Spurs traded for. They traded for a superstar, DAaron Fox, didn't they?
Right. He did a lot of everything. His assists, especially down the stretch when he faced a lot of double teams, he's been double teamed before. If you haven't faced that, you see a lot of guys get double teamed. They panic. They try to rush the ball out. Instead, he took his time 2 times in a row, found Jeremy Sohan for easy buckets because he's been there before.
Remember the words back-to-back?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, well, that's happening again. Friday and Saturday, another one. The second time this week we've done this here. The Hornets on Friday, the Pelicans on Saturday. Nice to have more home games, but another back-to-back nonetheless.
Well, you'd like to repay the Hornets for that loss in Charlotte where DAaron Fox hits the buzzer beater. That one doesn't count. Our guys should have won that game. 1 defensive error down the stretch cost them, so you'd like to get that one back. And, of course, you'd like to show the Pelicans a bad time here in town because you went there for 2 and they didn't treat you so nicely. So it's going to be payback time hopefully this weekend.
Make those putts tomorrow, would you?
I will try. Do my best.
All right, guys, we'll send it back to you.
You faulting Sean's short game? He's pretty good.
He faulted it himself today.
Not the short game, Dan.
All right.
You haven't seen it.
You got a lot of time to work on it, Sean. Here, you're home here for the next few days. So
I know, nice and sunny, too.
Yeah, get back out to the course. 90-degree weather. A little toasty for golf. Spurs get the win tonight here. 126-116, the final over the Dallas Mavericks. You get 32 and 11 from DAaron Fox, 16 and 10 from Devin Vassell, and 18 from Keldon Johnson. 2 of them right here. More Spurs Live when we continue after this. Figures tonight, led by 32 and 11 from DAaron Fox. The Spurs beat the Mavericks 126-116. They are in a split in this 2-game baseball series for their I-35 rival. Dan Weiss, TJ Ford, back at our Spurs Live desk as we continue the post-game edition of Spurs Live. And TJ, Keldon Johnson again tonight. I mean, it's become pretty much routine. He gets downhill, gets an opportunity to attack the basket, and a little more undersized Dallas Mavericks team just didn't have an answer for him tonight.
But when he comes in the game, you know he's going to bring physicality. On the offensive end, you know he's going to attack and he's going to use that big size to get to the basket. One thing that people really don't acknowledge him for is how well he finishes at the basket. And he brought a lot of energy tonight, not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. He brought a lot of energy and passion. And that's what he was able to do for us tonight off the bench.
Yeah, and I like the fact that sometimes he defers, sometimes he settles for that three-point shot. Tonight, I kind of think I saw this the other night with Harrison Barnes too. When you don't have a shot blocker in the paint, you guys get a little bit greedy and you start going downhill. And I thought Harrison did it the other night, and I thought Keldon did it tonight.
He did a great job tonight. I just think his efficiency that he brings to the table, you know what you're going to get out of him every single night. He's been very productive, and his game continues to improve week to week, and he's someone that the Spurs need every night to give him the best chance and the best ability to win.
You saw the note at the bottom. He leads the NBA in points off the bench since the All-Star break, now at 201 as the Spurs get the win, 126-116 over the Dallas Mavericks. It was the DAaron Fox game tonight here at the Frost Bank Center. The steal from Vassell, the dunk for DAaron. We wrap up Spurs Live on the other side.
Pretty appropriate response from the other night. Were you pleased?
I was actually frustrated for them in the first quarter because I thought our defense was much better, and we had, I think, 8 turnovers in the first 8 minutes. I think they had 14 points off of those turnovers. I think at one point half their points for the quarter were off turnovers. And again, it wasn't as much even playing in the crowd. It was sometimes we were trying to make passes and whatnot, so it was more I was frustrated for them. You know, not all turnovers are created equal at times in terms, at least as a coach, and frustration. Playing in a crowd or missing an open guy is one thing, but when you're trying to make passes. And so to answer your question, I was very happy with the response. It took, I think, a little bit of time to feel good about it because the game was back and forth, but the response was great.
What did you like the most about what you saw from Fox tonight?
I thought his assertiveness was great. I thought he lived in the paint and was having a great balance of imposing his will individually and then also getting guys the ball or shots. But a lot of times, again, it's nothing to quantify. When he gets in the paint, draws a crowd or an advantage, kicks it out, and then it's a closeout. And if that doesn't lead to a bucket, the next pass or next action can. And I think he did that at a high level tonight.
How do you feel just over the course of the last, I guess, month and a half, whatever it's been since he's been here? How have you felt he's assimilated and gotten to know things and the way it works around here?
As well as we could hope for. Yeah, I think it's, the circumstances he came in, whether he was on the road for 40 days, including his Sacramento road trip. He didn't play a home game here for a month. Is, the guy that he was thinking was, coming to play with goes out. There's been a lot of things that have happened. He's done nothing but showed up every day and played through his own things, and he's been an absolute pro.
Kind of alluded to that just now, but he came here to play with Vic, and a lot of when this gets built out is going to be he and Vic playing together. Vic's not here. What can DAaron kind of learn, or what kind of adjustments can he make that will carry over to next season when Vic is? We've talked a lot about that in terms of our identity and style of play does not change. Now, the people on the court, the particular lineups or groups that are on the court at a certain time, they'll put their own spin, their own sprinkle, because their individual talent and how they fit, and that is what will make it unique. But the things that we ask of them, the things that we expect of them does not change no matter who's on the court.
Do you think he's found that sort of, obviously he's been a great player for a long time, but do you get the sense that he's kind of putting his imprint on, or at least in the way y'all would like to see?
Yeah, and I think, again, it's I'm sure there are times where he's trying to figure out when to be aggressive, when to include his teammates. It's always a tricky balance when you're still trying to get to know your teammates and the structure or style of play or some of the things that we've been working on since September. And I think he's done a great job of that. And again, we don't see anything but much continued growth in that area.
We've talked a lot lately about Keldon's energy. That sequence in the third quarter, Euro step layup, comes back, diving steal, saves it, and it leads to Devin's three on the other end. Did that kind of sum it up?
Yeah. Yes. That play, and then Julian had a similar play in terms of diving on the ball around half court that led to a Keldon dunk, I believe. But those are winning plays, and those are plays that are great team uplifting moments. They give energy to the rest of the team. And, tonight was one of those nights where I told them, they put a lot of pressure on me. I couldn't finish 9 guys. There were 9 guys that could have finished that game. And I mean that as a compliment to them. And the more they do that, as frustrating as it may be for some of them, they did a great job. Bismack Biyombo changed the game and then didn't go back in. So,
There at the start of the second half, going to Bismack a lot.
Well, and I meant more, I think on the challenge, we got like 3 or 4 stops in a row and scored out of that. I think it was a 2-point game, and it got to like 8 or 10. And just his activity defensively and energy was a game changer for us at that moment.
How have you seen the bench group evolve together? Because it seems like they've been playing well when they've been healthy here lately.
Yeah, I think they have done a great job of playing hard. As simple as that sounds and as silly maybe, just playing hard and letting the basketball find them and the basketball gods reward them in the sense that when you play the right way and you play hard, here's an offensive rebound, here's a loose ball, I'm spacing the right spot, now the ball finds me, I get to shoot a shot. And it's been fun to see that.
So Mitch Johnson after the game, TJ, that's a feel-good win for the Spurs. Sean likes to call them, Matt would call them quality of life wins because you get to spend a couple days at home, get to enjoy it, and you get to prepare for a back-to-back coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, they came in tonight and they took care of business. After letting down on Monday and coming in tonight, doing what they have to do to take care of business and moving up in the standings. Now it's going to be important, get a day of rest, come back on Friday, be able to have the same effort, the same energy, the same passion, and try to come out and get a win.
Charlotte Hornets will be in town on Friday night, and this was the Hornets ball club that beat the Spurs on a game winner by Miles Bridges in Charlotte back during the rodeo road trip. So Spurs certainly owe them some payback. 7 o'clock tip time here from the Frost Bank Center on FanDuel Sports Network. We'll get you started with Spurs Live beginning at 6:30. It's also Military Appreciation Night presented by USAA. Show military ID. You get 40% off your tickets and 15% off in the fan shop. So encourage the military to come on out, TJ. And should be a fun one with the Charlotte club that obviously is rebuilding, but, they got a flashy guy in LaMelo Ball who certainly gets the fans off their seats at times.
Oh, they're going to have a fan favorite come in the building, a guy that's definitely can relate to the millenniums in this era. But when you look at Charlotte Hornets, we played them very, very well on the road weeks ago, right? And DAaron Fox was able to put us ahead, and then Miles Bridges was able to make a big 3 in the corner. So coming back in, being able to redeem ourselves, I feel like the Spurs is going to come out. They're going to play with this effort. They're going to remember that loss, and they're going to come in and try to do the same thing they did tonight.
That'll be Friday night. Spurs and the Hornets right back here on FanDuel Sports Network before the Pelicans come to town on Saturday. Tonight, DAaron Fox, his high is a Spur, 32 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, 16 and 10 for Devin Vassell, 18 apiece for Keldon Johnson and Jeremy Sohan, and the Spurs get the win by 10, 126-116. For TJ Ford, Jacob Toby, Sean Elliott, our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss saying so long. We'll talk to you Friday back here at the Frost Bank Center. Have a great night, everybody.